Hello guys, for an open gate, everything's fine with you, with us everything's okay. Renato here, and he was called to do a hoof trimming. Take a look here and what's going on, folks. We don't know how this happened. There are several ways this can happen, and this here, folks, you can see that the animal is feeling pain. It's a hoof fracture on the hoof after all, as it is made of, you know, keratin tubules, as if they were connected to each other. And in this, sometimes it happens that this causes the ligament of one to the other to get in the way, and it becomes like a scar. And in this region here, half of the hoof is backwards, and it's a region where the animal ends up receiving a lot of support. You can see that it ends up receiving a lot of movement, and I don't know if you can see, but more of this part here, it moves from, it's practically a trauma. It's a more complicated case, it's a longer case, it's a good result, but it can be much better with a horseshoe, and we are even going to do a trimming here. But you know, the thing here is that it's a heavy animal. Calmly, he must weigh around 500 kilograms due to his weight, and he is very strong. He uses a lot of force, and well, how can I say, this is a time-consuming work. Well, the point that I was going is we need to hold the movement of the hoof so I could reduce the pressure on the cracked outside and do the hoofing. Remembering that, sometimes people ask you to talk about how strong the hoof is. Folks, a hoof fracture is much more difficult to fix than something that have happened to our own bones. In other words, much stronger than our bones. In other words, imagine how much load it receives with one step, with the movement, you know, mainly running. It is a lot of resistance, guys. It is a very large animal with a lot of weight, and the hoof, it has to be very resistant. I needed to make a removal here in this part. Where Renato is removing the excess, which is a little reddish, this is where it is getting stuck, you know. In this case here, you can see that it went a little too thick because, you know, I'm creating pressure due to the crack, and this is how it ends being less aggressive, you know, by removing more hoof as well. So it can also be an entry point for bacteria. It can also be an entry, really door for bacteria, you know. Not this is the case. It's what we must take care of now, because the bacteria perhaps coming to the shell, you know, going for this hoof, it can unite, but it's a little different from other cases that we have shown, because it would be, you know, a better result, right? We can hold, if we could hold this, you know, but this situation here with this dirt underneath, these fungus won't let that happen. So in order not to give bacteria, it is necessary to open it, and in his case, to get all this cracked out, it will have to be waiting a long time. The hoof will grow and the hoof will be done again until it can come out. I'll see if the animal will remain, you know, at rest, but if the guys I'm going to ride it, I'm going to give the option of doing the horseshoe and fixing it, you know. After all, it's an extra form of protection. Here it slipped and almost caught my nail. Wow. I just didn't say ouch because I was embarrassed by the camera. The risk is that Renato takes here, guys. Sometimes he gets hurt, but he hides the pain. And well, he says that he doesn't cry because he gets shy. Well, guys, each time that happens, we can put our hand under the hoof with the iron.
Você deu aqui. Então vamos fazer esse trabalho aqui, mas tem um pensamento. Tem que mexer pra mudar esse ponto de vista. Nesse caso aqui, agora eu acredito que ele consegue se fechar. Ele tem uma pequena cicatriz aqui em cima, mas pode pegar de
In
baixo.
this case, a fungus really hindered the growth and hindered the joining of this hoof. I'm doing the hoof in here and then I'm going to put the shoe and to preserve it even more. I believe that I will see it healing because it will grow from top to bottom and it will be a scar as if it were a scratch, which is normal, but I'm sure it will be. And from here you can see that it is very white. It's very clean. It's where it was with a little fungus. Guys, Renato now he's doing the cauterization and finding a better angle to fit the horseshoe. And well, it has to be done to better protect the hoof and avoid stepping on something and ending up opening it again. There now he will be protecting it with the horseshoe. Also guys, in this case we have already gone to the owner and he will purchase a supplement to help the animal, and it will also help to accelerate the hoof growth process. He's going to take a medicine that it will help with the calcium condition and will be useful for the hoof. And this medicine will end up removing calcium from food and sending it to the places where it is needed. Sending it to the bones in a right amount, to the hoof as well, and decalcifying the heart and lungs, cleaning the airways and bloodstreams, leaving the animal with better breathing and better circulation. So it ends up not becoming that panting and tired animal, but rather an extremely willing animal, rich with stronger hooves and bones. It also prevents horses from having major colic, and many animals have colic and ends up avoiding that too. And well, Renato is now going to finish the horseshoe.
Ele lá fora, lá.
Liga a bola aí. Olha o filho dele, legal. O menino lá de Goiânia, eu conheço ele é uma coisa. Pode.
Não, mas só aqui no filme.
Ah, na ponta aí. de novo pra você também.
Conserta a cara também?
That's it, folks. Horseshoe in place. And we can see that there is this kind of clamp that's going to help with that crack for to not going open. This resin will help a lot because of the movement that the roof was doing so. And you know, Renato was pressuring and you saw that it was moving. Now we can see that it's really well fixed. There is just the natural movement of the hoof now. Well guys, the horseshoe is in place and now it's time to wait a while. The resin will also stay covered for a while and now we are going to wait for the interval until the next horseshoe, and it's going to be 40 days or so, and we are going to do all this process again. If you can imagine this part, then well, it comes together and you know ends up including all of this, and we let this on purpose to be able to make this grow again and you know to take it out some pressure, because just to mix to enter the ventilate to not give bacteria. And that's it guys, let's wait for the next trimming. Everybody stay with God until the next video, God willing.